life, the path to success often involves a quiet journey, one that demands an intense focus on your own growth, your goals, and your inner peace. The world will always be full of noise, opinions, distractions, judgment, but the most powerful move you can make is to step away from all of it. In a world that constantly demands your attention, it's not about withdrawing from life, but rather about tuning out the external distractions so that you can better tune into yourself. Focusing on yourself and remaining silent isn't about being self-centered or disconnected from others. It's about nurturing your soul and your aspirations without the interference of unnecessary noise. There's power in turning off the outside world to listen to what your inner voice is saying. It's not always easy, but it's necessary for growth. In the moments where you feel overwhelmed, unsure, pressured by the expectations of others, remind yourself to stay silent. Let your actions speak louder than words, and let your silence be the space in which your true strength is built. Your journey is yours alone, and it's in your quiet moments of reflection and dedication that you'll find the clarity and focus you need to move forward with purpose. Silence is often misunderstood in a world that thrives on noise. It's not something we usually embrace or recognize for its inherent power. In fact, silence can be one of the most overlooked yet transformative tools for personal growth and success. We are constantly surrounded by sound. Whether it's the chatter of people around us, the hum of technology, or the endless stream of social media updates, these external distractions often pull us away from what truly matters, ourselves. And yet, in the quiet moments, in the stillness, lies an untapped source of power. The truth is, silence doesn't just mean the absence of sound. It's a state of being that requires intentional focus. Silence is an opportunity to step back from the chaos of life and tune into the rhythm of our own minds. It offers the space to be still, to listen, and to understand. But to embrace silence, one must first be willing to step away from the noise of the world. In many ways, the constant barrage of distractions we face daily can drown out our own thoughts. How often do we find ourselves so caught up in the opinions of others or the demands of our surroundings that we lose track of who we really are and what we really want? We become so focused on responding to the noise that we forget to listen to the quiet whispers of our own hearts. Silence, however, is the antidote to this overstimulation. It allows us to step away from the constant influx of information and take a deep breath. When we choose silence, we are actively creating a space for clarity. In this space, we can process our thoughts and feelings without external influence. Silence is like a blank canvas on which we can project our true desires, dreams, and ambitions. It allows us to strip away the unnecessary layers that we often add in the face of external expectations and pressures. Instead of being pulled in 100 different directions, we can center ourselves and connect with our own inner wisdom. This is when true insight and self-awareness begin to emerge. Moreover, silence provides us with the ability to focus. When we're constantly bombarded with noise, it's easy to become distracted and lose sight of what we're working toward. But in silence, our attention becomes sharper and our focus becomes laser-like. It's in these moments of stillness that we can most effectively set intentions, prioritize our actions, and make decisions that align with our personal values. The distractions of the world may try to pull us in different directions, but by choosing silence, we empower ourselves to stay focused on the things that truly matter. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to fall into the trap of feeling like we always need to be busy, to be talking, or to be doing something at all times. Silence can feel uncomfortable, especially when we're conditioned to seek constant stimulation. Yet silence is a powerful form of presence. It's an opportunity to recharge, to rest, and to nourish our inner self. When we take the time to be silent, we can reflect on our progress, recognize our strengths, and evaluate where we want to go next. We gain a deeper understanding of who we are and where we are headed. But the power of silence goes beyond just personal reflection. It also plays a crucial role in how we interact with the world around us. When we choose to remain silent in the face of external noise, we create a boundary between ourselves and the influence of others. In a culture that often values opinions and commentary above all else, choosing silence can be a profound act of self-preservation. It allows us to protect our energy and maintain our sense of peace without being swayed by the opinions or judgments of others. Furthermore, silence can be a tool for cultivating patience. In a world that constantly pushes us toward instant results, silence teaches us the value of waiting, of letting things unfold in their own time. When we are silent, we are no longer rushing to respond or to instead we allow ourselves to sit with our thoughts, to observe, and to wait for the right moment to take action. This patience enables us to make more thoughtful, deliberate decisions that are in alignment with our deeper goals and values. Silence also creates the perfect environment for personal growth. In the quiet moments, we are able to hear the messages our intuition has been trying to send us all along. It's in silence that we can listen to our own needs, desires, and fears and begin to understand what truly drives us. The distractions of the outside world may cloud our vision, but silence clears the fog and brings us back to ourselves. So take the time to embrace silence. In doing so, you will find a deeper sense of peace, focus, and power that will guide you on your journey towards success and fulfillment. In life, there are countless variables that are beyond our control. We often find ourselves dealing with situations that we didn't choose or anticipate. From the actions of others to the broader circumstances of the world around us, there are many forces that shape our lives in ways we cannot always predict or manage. However, there is one thing that remains consistently within our reach: our response to these events, the power to control how we respond, how we manage our emotions, and how we approach the challenges in front of us is always ours to claim. Focusing on what we can control is not just a strategy for dealing with adversity, it's a mindset that can transform the way we approach every aspect of life. When we think about control, it's easy to get caught up in trying to change things that we simply cannot influence. We often invest a great deal of energy in worrying about other people's actions, the state of the economy, or the events unfolding in the way. This kind of focus on the external is both exhausting and unproductive. It's easy to become overwhelmed by the sheer magnitude of things that are outside of our control. And in doing so, we can lose sight of what truly matters, the choices we make and how we navigate through our own lives. The truth is, we cannot control the behavior of others, nor can we always predict how events will unfold. But what we can control is how we respond to these external circumstances. We have the power to decide how we carry ourselves, how we approach problems, and how we maintain our peace of mind in the face of uncertainty. When we take ownership of our responses, we regain a sense of power that no one can take away from us. This shift in focus is incredibly empowering. Rather than feeling helpless in the face of the uncontrollable, we feel grounded and capable in handling whatever life throws our way. One of the first areas in which we can exercise control is in our mindset. Our thoughts shape how we see the world and how we interact with it. We have the ability to choose our perspective on any given situation. When things go wrong, we can choose to see the challenges as opportunities for growth, or we can allow ourselves to become consumed by negativity and despair. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that our circumstances define us, but the truth is, it's how we think about those circumstances that truly shapes our experience. By choosing to focus on the positive aspects of the situation, or by reframing difficulties as lessons, we empower ourselves to move forward with greater strength and resilience. Another area where we have control is our actions. No matter what happens around us, we can choose how to act. We can decide whether to face challenges head on or shy away from them. We can choose to take proactive steps toward our goals or let fear hold us back. Our actions are a direct reflection of our values and our commitment to the life we want to create. While we may not always have control over the outcomes, we always have control over the effort we put in. The effort we make is what builds our character, our skill set, and our sense of fulfillment. And by focusing on consistent, deliberate action, we make progress even when the end result feels uncertain. In addition to mindset and actions, we can control our habits. The daily choices we make in terms of how we spend our time, what we prioritize, and how we take care of ourselves are all within our control. The habits we cultivate over time can either propel us toward our goals or hold us back. We have the ability to choose whether we make time for self-care, whether we stay disciplined in our work, and whether we invest in the relationships that matter most. Our habits create the foundation for our success and well-being, and by focusing on building positive habits, we ensure that we are always moving in the right direction. While it's important to acknowledge that we can't control everything, focusing on what we can control doesn't mean that we should ignore the bigger picture or passively accept things as they are. It means that we recognize the areas where we do have power and that we use that power wisely. By channeling our energy into the things we can influence, we maximize our potential and create positive momentum in our lives. It's easy to become paralyzed by the enormity of the unknown, but when we focus on what we can control, we create a sense of stability and purpose, even in the most uncertain times. Ultimately, focusing on what we can control is about reclaiming our sense of agency and responsibility. It's about understanding that while we may not always have the ability to choose our circumstances, we do have the ability to choose how we engage with them. Life will always present challenges, but how we approach those challenges is entirely up to us. By taking ownership of our mindset, our actions, and our habits, we can navigate life with a greater sense of ease and confidence. The world may be full of things beyond our control, but by focusing on the things we can change, we unlock our own potential to shape the life we want to live. There is a unique power that comes from quiet strength. It is not the kind of strength that demands attention, nor the type that needs constant validation. It is a more subtle force, one that operates from within, grounded in personal resolve and unwavering belief in one's purpose. While many are quick to shout about their goals, ambitions, and victories, those who possess quiet strength know that true power does not need to be broadcasted. Instead, it is expressed in actions, in resilience, and an ability to remain focused even when the world around them seems to be chaotic. Quiet strength does not need to be loud to be felt. In fact, it is often in the moments of silence, when there is no audience and no applause, that the most profound shifts take place. This is the kind of strength that doesn't rely on external affirmation. It is not about proving oneself to others. It is about proving to oneself that no matter the obstacle, the inner conviction is enough to carry one through. When people are anchored in this kind of strength, they do not need to explain themselves or justify their actions to others. Their progress is their proof. Their perseverance, their consistent effort, and their results speak for themselves. This quiet strength can be especially powerful in the face of challenges. Life has a way of throwing unexpected curveballs, and it is easy to become overwhelmed by the noise, the doubts, and the external pressures that often. However, those with quiet strength know that it is during these moments of uncertainty that they must dig deeper, remain composed, and continue moving forward. They do not allow fear or panic to take over their actions. Instead, they stay calm, gather their thoughts, and approach each challenge with the belief that they are capable of overcoming it, no matter how difficult it may seem. What distinguishes quiet strength from the more overt forms of power is its ability to be steady and unshakable. It does not seek attention or demand accolades. It is not about the flashy displays of success or the public recognition of achievement. Quiet strength is about inner peace, discipline, and persistence. It is knowing that the journey is not always going to be easy, but that the commitment to stay the course, regardless of the obstacles, will eventually lead to success. It is about doing the work day after day, even when the outcome is not immediately visible. One of the most compelling aspects of quiet strength is this ability to produce results over time. while others may be distracted by the need for instant gratification or immediate results. Those who embody quiet strength understand that success is often the result of consistent, sustained effort. It is the ability to keep going when others have given up, to remain focused when distractions are abundant, and to push through moments of self-doubt without letting them dictate the next step. The results that come from this type of perseverance are not always instantaneous, but when they do come, they are deeply meaningful and rewarding. Quiet strength creates a solid foundation for long-term success because it is built on resilience, discipline, and a commitment to the journey rather than on fleeting moments of triumph. And it is this steady, unwavering strength that leads to meaningful, lasting results. In the end, those who embody quiet strength create legacies, not through the noise they make, but through the actions they take, the commitment they show, and the results they achieve.